Increase Lapham was the father of Wisconsin's conservation movement. Lapham moved to the frontier town of Milwaukee in 1836, 3 days before Wisconsin became a state. Father of the National Weather Service, Wisconsin's first scientist, the first to chronicle the state's geography, the first to record the state's Native American mounds, founder of the Wisconsin Academy of Sciences, Arts, and Letters, the first to report the devastation of the white pine forests. Increase had the foresight to shape our state's future.
It is perhaps the most extensive marsh in Wisconsin, being 14 miles long, 5 miles wide, and covering an area of 44 square miles. It is a fact of some importance in deciding upon the general characteristics of the mound builders that they have selected the same localities as their successors, and probably for the same reasons. Because what he's saying is that we should be thinking of the mound builders, the Native Americans who were here, not so much as a different people, another people, but as people who were very similar to us, having the same needs and wants, and fulfilling those in the same places. But anyhow, he starts out his life, they're traveling a lot, so he doesn't get much in the way of formal education, and perhaps 5 years of schooling, as we would think of it today. He actually tried to get into Yale. There was a contemporary of his who tried to arrange for him to get into Yale, but it never happened. But instead, he came to Milwaukee at a time that there are only 50 houses in Milwaukee. And he is able to become involved in everything. And to me, that is what makes him fascinating. He had this insatiable curiosity for the world around him. And I just imagine him getting up out of bed every morning and just jumping up and saying, I wonder what I can learn today. He's this very interesting combination of being both very humble but also very confident. He's a Quaker by religion. He's raised in a Quaker family. And I suspect because of that, he was kind of had bred into him this rather humble approach to the world. But he also knew that he had a great deal of knowledge and pursued things that he wanted to pursue. Later on, he is asked to be an instructor at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, and he turns it down because he says he doesn't know enough to be an instructor at a fine university. Yet at the same time, he's founding a women's college in Milwaukee. As you read his letters, as you read his writing, he seems like an extremely gentle man. He seems like the kind of guy who you just kind of like to go out for a walk with.
Lapham knew the importance of sharing his knowledge with others and would often invite his daughters and neighborhood children on expeditions.
Just about a year before his death, he was measuring a mound in Milwaukee with the young daughter of a neighbor. And on his kind of official sketch of that mound, it is, he signs it, Dr. Increase Lapham, assisted by, and Nellie, I've forgotten her last name, but it's, he obviously cares for these kids. He was not a specialist by any stretch of the imagination. He was a generalist. And that idea of being able to see how various parts of what we do in our lives, what we do as humans, what we do as managers of land, that these things all affect each other, and there's that interaction. And that to me is the one piece that makes Lapham special, is he is seeing that all of these pieces come together.
Increase Lapham's love of learning and unlimited personal drive became the foundation for conservation in Wisconsin.